Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the...
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And here's Lewis. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. It'll be Jacoby Brissett under center, their third-year quarterback out of NC State.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And he powers his way up past the 30. Tackle made there by Jonathan Cyprien. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
In his third year now out of Oklahoma is Sterling Shepard, and he led the Giants in receiving yards in the absence of Odell Beckham in 2017, but had to battle the injury bug as well. Only played in 11 games with his own ailments. And when he's healthy, though, he is shifty, fast, electric down the middle of the field, and the Giants offense needs that in a big way.
This is Stewart again, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. Defensively, starting lineup now for Tennessee. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
And I've loved watching this unit on tape because throughout this season, I've seen them do all the right things. They're about as talented a group as I've seen, and they know how to stop the run.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Here we go! What?
They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. It'll be Marcus Mariota calling the shots under center in his 4th year now at the helm of the Titans out of Oregon.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterback shake-off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down, Mariota. And that is incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Mariota steps away to his left. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Now Stewart on first down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Second down, Brissett. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Rosas puts this one through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Mariota now on second down. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On third down, Mariota. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're indeed going. It's Mariota. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now. Right? The opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive. It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Bissett. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Khalil Mack in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Riley Dixon now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Derrick Henry. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Mariota. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. Mariota now to throw on first down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
On third down, Brissett throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Titans moving quickly here. They're in the hurry-up.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That one goes for 24 yards. A first down throw for Mariota. And Davis has it over the middle. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Mariota yelling out the play call as he hustles everyone to get set. Here's Mariota. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Eric Decker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are just an extra point away from moving out in front.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Brissett to throw on first. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go! 190!
Brissett now on second down. To Shepard, complete over the middle. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Let's go! 190! 190!
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Brand 38!
A second down throw for Brissett. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Ohio! Come on, let's go! Brand 38!
Now a 10 carry for Jonathan Stewart. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Yeah, baby! Boom!
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for New York. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by zipping up to upstate New York. Detroit paying a rare visit to New Era Field to take on Buffalo. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. Golden Tate, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Brandon LaFell, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And that one all even as they play the visiting Bucs. In our game, it was Marcus Mariota with a strong first half. His guys lead, though, by only a point. It's been a tight one. As for the start of the third quarter, we'll send it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sag. Alec Ogletree. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there. And it's third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Third and long here for Mariota. Going deep now for Decker. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Graham. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And Latimer's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle 1st and 10 at their own 21. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Room here to run. And will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it, but it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs, and they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A.J. Boye with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Coleman. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Mariota to throw it. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Davis. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Titans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Off play action to Henry. Here's Mariota. They'll roll him out right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Play action here on first down. And oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers.
Knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And now here is another interception. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out with a run by Vereen. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now a second down throw for Mariota. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. Throwing, Mariota. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. Uncorks one for Davis. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Darryl Roberts right there in the coverage. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. And they had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Stiff, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Jonathan Stewart, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Mariota on 1st down. Right side, there's Decker. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The Titans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. On now is the Titans punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Tackle made that time by Kevin Dodd.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Another run for Stewart. He's been busy. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
This is Stewart, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a
that's
little skeptical
about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Giants, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.